Hi, and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. We are a community-based organization that allows you to see what's going on in your area. Like, for example, when you like us on Facebook, you will get entered to win a pair of tickets to the Steele County Blades Junior Hockey Team home game. So it's a great opportunity for your local area. But we're here because of businesses, and we would like to thank those businesses right now. We'd like to thank our premier supporters, which include the City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, Owatonna Public Utilities, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, and United Way of Steele County. Thank you to each of them. Also, thank you to our primary supporters, Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Coda Living Community and Park Place Senior Living, and Little Theater of Owatonna. Thank you to them. But we couldn't do it without our interlude supporters. They also include Abraham Consulting Technologies, Brenda Bednar Mortgage, Glenn Meager and Tim Thomas of the Brick Meager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling Housing, Claire Bridge of Owatonna, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clanter and Son Landscaping and Concrete, Napa Auto Service, Owatonna Business Incubator, Profinium Financial, R&K Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, Third Hand Incorporated, Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. I would like to say a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of those for allowing us to bring you information that's so important, like set your clocks back on Sunday. Also, we want to remind you that if you'd like to be a supporter of our show, we'd love to have you along for this great ride. You can contact Leanne Alt at 390-5751 and let her know, and she'll give you all the details. But make sure you do thank those businesses as well for supporting us right here on the Owatonna Today Show. We've got a good show for you. We're going to be speaking with Kris Busse and talking about what's going on in the city of Owatonna. Also talking about fire safety and how you can make sure your holiday season's a little bit safer by just doing a few improvements to your house. Stick with us. We'll be right back on the Owatonna Today Show.
I'm Dan Branstad of Carlson Branstad and Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
United Way of Steele County is all about changing lives,
reaching out a hand,
painting a brighter tomorrow,
creating opportunities,
inspiring and regaining hope,
navigating obstacles.
Please join us and all Jostens employees by giving generously, advocating for a better quality of life, and volunteering your time to a partner agency. We all win when we
live united.
Greetings, I'm Laura Ressler, Director of the Steele County Historical Society, and I welcome you to our History Center. We invite you to join in all our activities events where we honor the past and look towards the future.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. One of my favorite guests, it's true, I promise, is Kris Busse. She is with the Owatonna. Why don't you introduce you? I know you're here every month,
yes,
but for those who might be new to us, introduce yourself.
I am Kris Busse. I'm the City Administrator for Owatonna.
So Kris, so you run Owatonna?
No, I work. No, the mayor and council.
Oh, they run Owatonna.
Right, so and I work for them.
You just basically make sure that everything is going like clockwork. So there's a lot of...
That's my goal, yes.
That's a lot of stuff to look after. Mm-hmm. Part of that is, I guess, taking care of the budget.
Oh, that's a big part of what I do.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. You know, we begin back in June for the proposed 2014 budget. So we put a lot of work into it, and we start out, department heads put their budgets together in June, and we start our hearings with the council in the end of August, beginning of September.
And your budget year runs January through December?
Yep, it's calendar year. And so we just wound up our budget hearings where each department presents, what's new, what's going on. Every department has different aspects that they'd like to inform the council about. So we've just had that. We've also gone through our CIP, which means Capital Improvement Program. And that's a new thing this year that we've started. We've always had a Capital Improvement Program, but this one is a little more formal, a little more has more information. It gives council better background, better justification for what we're doing.
Let's break that down really quick. Capital improvement. What is that exactly? What is capital? What improvements on the capital are you making?
They're like critical infrastructure needs of the community. Be it for the fire department, a new truck we're getting this year, to streets, to police cars, to just large items that a city needs to run.
And so you're going through and identifying those and then finding out where that funding can come from?
Exactly. So the goal of a CIP is to kind of coordinate the scope and the timing of the projects, right? So, cities have a lot of needs, big needs, and we need to look at how we can fit that in, right? We need to look down the road and make sure that we can see a big expense coming and allow for it through budgeting, through, maybe grant applications for, or various ways to, incorporate that cost into our overall budget. So
it's interesting because if part of this also depends on our weather, because you can't do any kind of street projects during those really hardcore winters, but maybe you can get a fire truck, because that's the weather also takes a part of that.
Right. We our list of street projects, could be very definitely affected by the weather, where you wouldn't get as much done as you had originally planned, and so you'd have to shift those costs into another year. I think the council has done a great job giving us guidance, and they, scrutinize as well they should the CIP every year, because it's, a significant amount of tax levy and local government aid, and a significant investment by the community.
So the CIP, how much of that, is there any way to say how much part of the budget that really is a part of, or is it just so different every year it's really hard to give that number?
Yeah, it varies. I was just looking here, for 2014, if you include everything, including the wastewater treatment plant, what we have outlined is, over $7 million. Now, the wastewater treatment plant is a separate fund from our general fund. So that's a little confusing, but you can see from that it's a significant amount of money.
What are they hoping to do with the wastewater treatment plant?
Our plant is about 20 years old, and so unfortunately, like everything, things break down. And when things break down at the treatment plant, it's expensive.
Yes.
So we've had issues with blowers, issues with motors, issues, lift stations, that sort of thing. So I think our biggest thing going into 2014 will be an upgrade at our Bridge Street lift station, which is a major component of our overall collection system, and we want to make sure that one is, it services all those businesses and a large portion of the community. We want to make sure that's running tip-top.
Yeah. And this is different than normal budget items, things that like what staffing is going to be, what basically what's going to cost to maintain some buildings, normally. So the CIP basically is the above and beyond those things.
Right, exactly. And that's why, we need to take a look and try and figure out how we're going to incorporate those things into our overall budget program. So.
And when you look at the budget, as you're looking at the new one, is there any evaluation of the 2013, or do you have to wait until the new year to do that kind of evaluation of the budget?
Usually we look at the 2013, ongoing, right, as, year-to-date kind of things, but you'd be surprised how many things, that are count against the 2013 budget, but you don't get those until you're into 2014. So, it takes some time at the end of the year before you see how you overall came out. But we can certainly project and know, and we monitor each month how we're doing and the expected costs and that, and, we're right on track. So.
Is there a lot of community interest in the budget itself, and what things are being spent on? And
yes, there is definite interest, but, at our hearings in that, sadly, we don't have a lot of at our hearings. We think it's exciting and
well, you're a numbers
fun
person, that helps. Yeah.
Interesting, but not everyone does. So we are looking at different ways to try and engage the public and get them informed about it, because it's so important. We do a truth and taxation hearing every year, although now it's not called a truth and taxation hearing, but it's basically a public hearing on the budget where we explain, and Rhonda Moens, our finance director, she does a great job putting together a PowerPoint that really kind of capsulizes the essence of the budget in easy to understand format.
As it speaks to the dumb, to the
not dumb,
number illiterate.
it's just things that you're not used to looking at.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure people understand what we're doing.
Why is that so important? Why is it important for the community to know where that money's being spent? Why can't they just trust you?
Well, I think everyone, money is important, and certainly we've learned through the recession that it's painful if you're not careful with your funds, right? And unfortunately, some folks lost jobs, pay was reduced, and so we want to demonstrate to our public that we're being very careful and conservative with their money, and we're taking good care of it and investing it wisely. Because
I know, like during the recession, that's when people are going to get all scared and up into it. But if they start understanding the process now, why that money's being spent, where it's being spent, if something like that happens again, they'll be more on top. Also, does it help them with public policy when there's different things that come up, different when they have to vote on things, being involved in that kind of thing? Does that help?
Well, certainly. As we go through our capital improvement program, there are things that didn't make the list, and definite needs that we would like to fund that we just simply don't have the money for. I know our tennis courts are in need of some, serious work, but, we try and deal with the, kind of the core service areas first before we, get into the more, not core services.
Right.
And certainly parks are important, and we love our parks and trails, but when you're looking at a police car or a fire truck or doing some street work.
Safety issues sometimes need to come first.
So, and if people are aware of kind of our struggle with what we're trying to fund, and, we've had just great success in the community with different groups getting behind different projects. We have a lot of public-private partnerships where, an association will do some fundraising for some things in the park and rec. So it helps us keep those things up to date and make sure that we can continue to offer those amenities too.
I think that's important to understand that you can be a part of it instead of just complaining about it.
Right.
Go to these meetings, find out more, and then see what you can do. That's great. Well, thank you so much for this. It's an interesting thing, and people can find out more information about the budget just by going to the website.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Thank you so much for your time, Kris.
You bet.
You enjoy Did you have a good Halloween?
Oh, absolutely.
What'd you dress up as?
Well, I can't really say.
I'm gonna go. I went as the TARDIS.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but good.
Doctor Who thing.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. I don't know if I can talk to her anymore. We'll be right back with the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Ann Plascanco here from Senior Place, and it's our 25th anniversary this year. We provide health and wellness programs, and one of those programs is massage therapy with Betsy Wright.
Yes, Repose Massage can give you pain and stress relief naturally, so make an appointment today.
Yes, and find out all the other programs and services we have to offer and join Senior Place today.
Do you know how to safely dispose of your expired or unused prescription and non-prescription medications? Not by flushing them down the toilet or putting them in the garbage. Doing so pollutes our rivers, streams, and drinking water supply. Take it to the box instead for safe, secure disposal. It's easy. Bring your unused medications in their original containers to the drop-off locations listed on the screen and drop them in the Take It to the Box drop box. Proper disposal of unwanted medications keeps them out of the hands of children and out of our environment. This is a message from the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to transitional housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Hi, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Tim Thomas of the Brick Mager Funeral Home, and we're proud to serve the Medford and Owatonna areas with cremation and traditional funeral services.
And we're proud to be a part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Kristen Selentine, and I play Judith.
And I'm Cody Jensen, and I play Simon in LTO's current production of Hay Fever, directed by Kathy Rush and sponsored by Wells Fargo.
Performances of Hay Fever will be held Friday and Saturday, October 25th and 26th at 7:30 p.m., with a matinee on Sunday, October 27th at 2 p.m.
And again the following Thursday through Saturday, October 31st and November 1st and 2nd at 7:30 p.m.
Tickets are available at the LTO box office by calling 451-0764. Don't miss LTO's production of Hay Fever.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. We have with us Mike Johnson. Hi, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Really quickly, if you don't mind, will you introduce yourself?
I'm Mike Johnson. I'm the fire chief for the city of Owatonna.
Wow, that's a very big responsibility. Yeah. So I'm imagining that with the Owatonna area, you do a lot of working with the other areas around us, don't you?
Yeah, we have a very good working relationship with all the fire departments in our area. So usually if we have a fire, it's more than one fire department that shows up.
Well, that's really great. Do we have never met before, so I'm going to ask questions that make me interested. Do you have a volunteer base of firefighters here in the Owatonna area?
We're what's called a combination department.
Okay.
We have full-time firefighters, 8, and then we have resident firefighters that are paid on call that live in the fire station, and we have 6 slots for that. And then we have paid on call firefighters that carry a pager, they live in the community, they respond from work or home if we have a fire.
Okay, I think there's a great benefit to that, to having people from the community also involved in the fire station.
Yeah, there is. And then it helps with the cost of providing fire protection to the community.
Yeah, and what's so amazing, I know that you are an emergency service. I know that part of it is when something tragic is happening, you are a part of it. But as a fire department, you're also very proactive in working with the community to make sure some of those tragedies don't happen. And you're here today to talk about, it's that time of year, we're falling back. It's time to change our clocks back. And that's a reminder for all of us to do what? That's the big thing.
Well, the main thing is we like to fight fires before they happen. And one of the programs is to change your battery when you change your clock. And you do this in the fall. So Saturday evening or early Sunday morning, your clocks are going to fall back 1 hour. But that's a good time. We've had this campaign with Ever-Ready batteries to change your batteries at that time. It's just a reminder. And it's a good thing to do because the batteries need to be changed once a year. And the other thing is the smoke detectors require some maintenance. You can get dust inside the smoke detector, which can cause it to malfunction. So we always like to have people go through and change the batteries and then take their vacuum cleaner and vacuum around the smoke detector, and then they're going to make sure that it's going to work fine.
Well, and you brought one in today, and I'd like to show, so this is a traditional smoke detector that most people could easily have in their home. Let's talk about the smoke, because to me, honestly, this is kind of like a magic machine. Kind of like, my television works, I have no idea why. So let's break this down a little bit so people can understand how it works, and then we can go from there, because there are different types of smoke detectors and that kind of thing.
Yes, there is. There's an ionization type smoke detector, and that's for a rapid growing fire. Let's say you had a trash can fire, a candle lit something on fire, or a cooking fire. That'll sense that fire faster. Photoionization is a smoke detector that's better at sensing a smoldering fire. And the NFPA, the National Fire Protection Association, recommends a combination of the different types of smoke detectors in your home.
And how can you tell if your home is that or not?
You can, when you go through and you purchase the smoke detector, you can get a combination type, or it'll say if it's an ionization or a photoelectric.
On an existing one, how would you be able to tell?
You can look on the smoke detector on the back, and it'll tell you.
Okay.
And this is a smoke detector that I brought along just to show people what we like them to do. And to change your battery, you just simply open the compartment, and you can take your battery and drop it in. It's a simple procedure that's there. Simple for most people, but what we're finding out is there's a lot of special needs people in our population, elderly and others, that can't get to their smoke detector. Smoke detectors need to be placed high because smoke rises, and they should be on every level of your home. And we recommend inside the bedroom area and then outside in the common area, outside bedrooms. But one of the things I ask residents to do, if you know somebody that's elderly and they can't get up there to change their batteries, take the time to go through and help people in your neighborhood or your loved ones and change their batteries and vacuum around that smoke detector to make sure there's no dust in the ionization chamber.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You talked about the ionization chamber. As I look at this, we have the button. This button is to test it. You should also test your...
Yep, you should test them once a month and make sure that they're working. And a smoke detector has a life period from 8 to 10 years, depending on the manufacturer. So when the smoke detector gets old, the sensors become weak. So you should look at that and determine if it needs to be replaced and replace those, because the sensors will become weaker over time.
Okay.
And you can see I took this apart. I don't recommend people taking their smoke detector apart.
But we want them to
But you can see the chamber that's in here, and when you're vacuuming, you want to go around this area and make sure all the dust comes out of this area. And you can do that without taking your smoke detector apart, by just vacuuming around this area.
Because that's how the smoke would get in,
right
is through here as well.
Right in through here.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And you can see this one has a lot of dust that's accumulated inside the smoke detector. But you want to go through and do that, and then make sure that you replace this when it's needed, because if you have a working smoke detector in your home, it can cut the chances of dying in a fire almost nearly in half. The other thing is it gives you an opportunity to call for help faster and dial 911 and get the fire department to respond faster. So it can save a lot of property and save lives. So a working smoke detector is very important for fire safety.
The reason why it's the importance of a smoke detector over a fire detector is because sometimes, and this, correct me if I'm wrong, but more often than not, don't people actually die from the smoke inhalation than the flames themselves?
Yeah, we recommend, and the code is for smoke detectors that are there. That's what we talk about. But today, in homes today, it's actually more dangerous than it was in the past, because a lot of the products in the home are made of plastics and things from petroleum distillates. So when they burn, it's a very toxic smoke, with a lot of byproducts of that smoke have hazardous chemicals in there. So breathing those can be very dangerous for you. Also, it disturbs your visibility, and it creates a hotter fire that's there. So recognizing that fire and doing anything you can to protect your family by providing that early detection is really a key. And the other thing is, if you have a working smoke detector for your family, if your smoke detector goes off, it's going to go off early. And it's going to give you time to go in and get the kids or get your family members and leave the house quickly and go to a neighbor's home and dial 911 or use your cell phone. And if you don't have a working smoke detector, the chances of waking up or being alerted to that are very difficult. And that's why a lot of people die in fires without working smoke detectors.
Since this changing the batteries and this push for smoke detectors in homes and that kind of thing, have you seen a real decrease in deaths due to fire?
Yeah, I think we've had a good success with the smoke detector campaign that's there. We still have an issue in our community and other communities where we find when we do inspections, smoke detectors that are either taken down, they're not working, they're outdated, or the batteries themselves are missing. And one of the problems is people will go through and they don't maintain their smoke detectors, so then it starts chirping, or they don't understand how to take care of their smoke detector.
So they get annoyed.
So they take it down, or they take the batteries out of it.
Yeah.
That's a very dangerous thing to do. If you're having problems with your smoke detector and you can't figure it out with simple maintenance, like vacuuming around the smoke detector, changing the batteries, they can call the fire station. Our number is 444-2454. All of our firefighters are very helpful. They'll come down, work with you to try and identify the problem and make sure your smoke detectors are working properly.
Because it's, like you said, it's that first indication that something's wrong, and it can help save your life as well as the lives of your family. And it's such a simple thing. It's very, very simple. It's not hard to do at all.
What about CO2 detectors?
It's also a requirement to have a carbon monoxide detector in your home, 10 feet from every living or bedroom area of your home. That's part of the state statute to have that in place, and this year it's very important to go through and do that and check those. Same things, they need to be replaced when they get older. They don't need to be placed on a ceiling. They can be plugged into an outlet, and we recommend purchasing one that has a digital readout. And that way, if it does activate, we can determine if there's actual CO in the home or not.
Or if it's just,
Yep. And if you have any concerns about CO, and the symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning are similar to flu-like symptoms, So you can simply call Owatonna Public Utilities, and if there's people feeling ill, dial 911, and we'll respond with our monitors with OPU, and we can check and make sure that that home is safe.
Good. I think sometimes we feel like we don't want to bother the fire department, but like you said, you'd rather fight fires before they happen.
Yeah, and part of our duties is public education, and we go out and we're more than happy to work with people. We have some home fire inspection checklists that we have here. This is very helpful if residents in our area are concerned about fire safety. There's a number of tips in here. There's recommendations for fire extinguishers, for smoke detectors, and everything you need to know to make your home safe you can find in this free checklist that we have at the fire department.
Thank you so much for your time. This is a very important announcement. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we will be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Amy Martinez.
And I'm Adam Martinez, owners of Snap Fitness in Owatonna.
Snap Fitness is a fast, convenient, and affordable fitness center, and we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
And it's time for a look at
the Owatonna Foundation's mission is
to community blood drive at St. Joseph's Church Wednesday, November 6th from noon to 6, Thursday from noon to 6, and on Friday from 8 to 1. And when you give a pint of blood, Culver's will give you a coupon for a pint of ice cream. It's a good deal. You can make an appointment by calling 800-733-2767, or you can go online at redcrossblood.org. I know, it is, not really. Red Cross. I did it again. redcrossblood.org. Steele County Historical Society is announcing its November History Detectives and Time Travelers program. It's going to be their children's program on Thursday, November 7th from 10:15, starting at 10:15, and then at 6:30. The History Detectives is a preschool age children's program, and they're going to be talking about the buffalo, its uses past and present. And then the Time Travelers will meet at 6:30, kids kindergarten through 6th grade, and they're going to talk about buffalo history as well. So it's a great opportunity for them to learn about an animal that's been here longer than any of us have. And then also the Owatonna Hospital Auxiliary is hosting its 51st annual Holiday Bazaar on Saturday, November 9th. And books are fun sale starting Friday, November 8th through the Saturday, November 9th at the Owatonna Hospital. Proceeds from these two events will help support Owatonna Hospital's patient care mission and provide scholarships for students in nursing and health-related fields. And the Steele County Historical Society announced its annual meeting scheduled for Tuesday, November 12th. This meeting will be held at the History Center. Its theme is Christmas Memories, and the social hour will begin at 6. Dinner will be at 6:30, and meal choices this year are either turkey and dressing or roast beef dinner. Following the meal will be the business meeting and the presentations of the year in review. Check that out. Tickets are $20, and make your reservations by the 12th of November. Thanks so much for joining us this week. Next week, we have a whole bunch of great opportunities for you to learn more about pastimes, Tri-Am 2014 calendars, and Lions Club's Pies for Your Eyes. See you then.